Hey, I'm back on Chess Cruncher TV. Yeah, we played a really interesting game. It was he played the Queen's Gambit Decline. Which actually, I'll show you. I played the French. I'm black, and he's white. Okay, he played D4. I played E6, C4, E5. I mean D5. What I'm doing is try to set up for kind of a Queen's Gambit declined French variation. See, what I want to do is I want to play here, have him take, and then take back, and then I have a French kind of setup. That's my idea. He comes there, there, and then now he's doing a semi-London system. And the semi it's kind of like that because of the bishop, but the bishop would actually be on f4, so it's kind of an odd setup, but it's really similar to how the London's set up. But I chose to kind of go into it's the Queen's Gambit declined traditional variation. So I thought about I want to go into that, and then it could transpose into the French defense. So, you know, give and take. I move knight d7. He moves rook c1. He's getting ready to play here, and then if I takes, he's got this whole open file. So my idea is to play bishop to a6, pinning the pawn to the bishop. See, my bishop right here, the c bishop, is actually my worst piece, and his f bishop, or his light square bishop, is his best piece. And so what he plays is bishop to d 3. He doesn't see my idea of bishop to a6. Bishop a6 is important because it now pins the pawn to the bishop, and so if he takes here, I'll take, and then I could take back. Yes, then I could play rook c8, and after takes, queen takes, and I have this whole diagonal. So everything's operation go for me. He takes, I take, he takes, and then I take back. Like what we were talking about, he castled. I attacked the bishop. The reason I also did that was now I have a flight square when this queen moves, so that there is no back rank tricks. Like he could get back rank mated because he has no, points to escape. So he moves back a castle. He moves knight to c b5. He wants to go to c7, attack this rook. He might even want to go in here, but he can't really. So this would be more like the spot he'd want to go to. He might implant a rook there. There's a whole bunch of different ideas for him. But I'm like, you know what? Trade with me. He trades. See, we're into a closed game. It's got one open file that can easily be retaken. And so what my idea is, I thought for a second, this was actually my longest think. I was like, if I bring my rook over here, and he takes, I take, the knight takes a7. So one thing I have to do is get this guy out of here. I do, and he takes. Now the threat of a7 is no longer in place. I can't play there. But he has f to c1, which protects his rook, and it doesn't allow me to do that. That's what he plays. So what I have to do is I think to myself, hey, you know what? What does the position call for? Developing of my knight. I can now reroute my knight into e4. It then guards critical points in the king's position. I can also go here if I needed to, and then I could, there's a whole bunch of different ideas. Yes, this is weak. Yes, he's doubled up. But that doesn't mean that he has full control. I am the one that's actually controlling the position at this moment. My queen's better centralized, and you guys will see how I slowly take advantage of it. He goes e5, knight e5. I go knight e4. So we're both in outposts. He could play here and I could play here. It all depends. So if he attacks my knight, I retreat back. But if you notice, what did he weaken? The f2 spot. So if these pawns were gone, I could check there and have a check on the king. You know, there's a bunch of different things that can happen. So he goes a3. The reason a3 is he was afraid of me doing. There was a setup of right. If I had played right here, I could then slide. I could take here. See, my idea was if he didn't play that, I was going to play queen to b4 and take the b2 pawn. So this pawn move stops my queen infiltration at the moment. So what I do is I develop my my rook. Yes, I lose this here because I was kind of interesting. I thought he was going to take here, knight takes, and then there would be kind of a issue. But he didn't do that. He wanted to attack my queen and see if he could trap my queen. So I retreat back. And I was very blessed that that was missed. But actually, I'm sorry. He can't play here. Well, he can play there, can he? Yeah, now that I think about it, he can. So because of the rook protection, yeah, that's an area I have to work on now. Now that that's really interesting. He had an opportunity right here of playing rook takes e7, and that would have given him some good move sequences. But you know what? I decided, you know, it's time. I want to reroute attack. It's funny, this whole game he had this hanging, but for some reason he just didn't see it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just the thing that's right there changes the whole situation. Takes. Now I implant my knight in, and he takes the pawn. I take this pawn. See, I'm taking a pawn. Now I'm attacking the queen, which right all the way to the rook. So I take that. Takes there. I take with check. If you notice, my idea was I saw that he was going to do that. I take with check. I thought about where would be a good spot. One idea was to play here, but I didn't like because there's no, oops, I got rid of that. There was no scope, so the best idea was to actually play there, and if you notice that is checkmate because the rook and the queen. So what he does, he takes, I take. See, that was a mistake. He didn't see my rook there. Queen there. I moved over. Queen down. I'm now threatening again to come here, and then maybe rook here. You know, there's a whole bunch of different ideas now. He pushes. I attack his knight. I'm discovering an attack on the f3 pawn too. So he moves there. I take, and then at this point he resigns because he knows that when he moves, if he moves, I have the queen. I have queen takes knight, and there's really no way to stop. He'd have, let's see, I'm trying to see, is there a way to maybe here? I take there, he intercepts. I check. He goes down and then checkmate, so he can't do that. he'd have to intercept here, and then that'd be me. So there's really no way of him surviving this attack. But I gotta tell you, back here, let's see, where was that? He missed a multitude of opportunities for right here. When I played here, he missed this take here, and that would have actually turned the tide of the battle. Because if I'd have to take, he would take. He could play check, and then I'd have to retreat back. I have 2 rooks and a knight, so it would be interesting to see the outcome of this. I think I'd still be okay, but why risk it? You know what I mean? So 3 or 4 times in the move sequence he had that, but he gave that up. He just started taking other material. He didn't see the f7 pawn. It's very interesting that a lot of games are based on that, but sometimes players, like you were saying, he's like a 1700 level player. So, and that's the coolest. That's an interesting thing about that. So, let me see. I want to check something out. Would anyone like to play with me on chess? I'm thinking about. I'm gonna check to see if there's. Let's see if there's any games that. Let's try this guy here. Okay. Let's see if I can take advantage of any of his positions. Hmm. This queen is weirdly placed for sure, isn't it? I'm trying to centralize my rooks. Oh, this is getting tough to how to break through. Gotta start looking for infiltration points. I don't like the pin that he put me under. Oh, I should have taken. Oh, that was a bad move. That was a horrible move. But I think I'm still okay. Yeah, I'm still alright. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm still okay. Let's see. Hmm. Trying to think what would be a good move at this point. I'm gonna push. Take more space in the center. Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, I gotta resign on that one. I have to check, see what the best move was. I can't believe that. You know, let's see. What should I have played here? So I should have What happens if I take here? So he takes there. Okay. I'll give you a, we'll play one with you. I gotcha. Let's do a 10-minute one. So it's kind of a little, excuse me, so it's kind of a little quicker. I'm waiting. Let's give it a shot. Oh, you're playing that way, are you? Okay. That works. Excuse me. 1 second. Sneeze. Okay, dokie. Do-do-do-do. Oh, you're pushing Harry. You gotta love it. Oops, wrong takes. Uh-oh. Shoot. Should have taken with the pawn. That would have forked my bishop and that was a okay. Yeah, in the last game I don't think I had a proper plan. Yeah, we're 3 minutes ahead. Over 3 minutes. Let's take. Gotta take right now. I don't want to do that, but. Huh. There we go. We're going for the takedown. Yeah, the next move would be here. So what would you have played? What move would you have played? Well, the computer says here, and then what I do is play there. Do you see the idea there? Then takes, and it's all over. Okay, we'll play another one. This is an interesting line, huh? This is getting interesting. This should be interesting. Let's give this a shot. Yeah, I'm planning on implanting my rook into a sweet spot, guys. You guys should be able to like the what I'm implanting and what I'm gonna do. This is good for us. Very, very good. Timeout. It's gonna be timed out pretty soon. Uh-oh. I don't want to win on time. I want to win by checkmate. Yes. There we go. Actually, the correct move was actually rook to e1. Because you lose a piece after this. What would happen is rook to e1. Well, I'll go back here because I know you're watching. Okay, rook e1, rook takes e1, knight takes, and then when I bring this rook down, you move your king over, and it protects the knight. The other way loses on the spot. A piece. I gotta think like this when I'm playing other players, and then I'd be unstoppable. I'm gonna have to work on that. You gotta put aside your fear. And play the way that you were supposed to. Sometimes you could just get rid of the knight, and then you queen and win. Good game. Okay, with that, guys, I got log off for work tomorrow. I really appreciate that you logged on and watched. And hey, you know what? We all learn from our losses. We get stronger that way. So I learned what I needed to learn to get better. And so remember, a loss is never a bad thing as long as you learn from it. And I did, and you got to see where I could have made better move sequences. Okay, guys, as Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV, and have a great night.